Comedy bang bang, 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 comedy bang bang.
When you're here, you're family, but once you're in the parking lot, it's acceptable to kiss with tongue. Welcome to Comedy Bang Bang. Shampoodler!
Shampoodler!
Catchphrase superstar!
You're a catchphrase superstar!
Going through the stratosphere to catchphrase heaven!
Or hell!
Catchphrase God!
Oh. 19 Comedy Bang Bangs in the Comedy Bang Bang theme song. I counted them today.
Sorry, gotta stop you right there and say I thought it was 14.
It was 19.
The Hardcastle? I thought it was 14.
No,
Here, let's listen to it again. Here we go.
All right.
And let's count them off. Here we go. Engineer Cody. Okay, none so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19. Oh, you got it right at the end. You really pulled it out. You did it. Paul was right. 19.
How did I hear?
You were counting on. First of all,
so many extra ones?
We were both counting.
Yes.
But we were counting on one hand, and it is easy to lose track. 14 and 19, it's the same finger you hold up. You just can't remember how many you've rolled through.
When counting on one hand, it is easy to lose track.
So. I'm sorry.
An apology so soon.
Apology Tour 2016.
Oh, Victory Tour. Let's do a victory tour.
Oh, gosh.
We should go back to all the cities we went to on tour and say thank you.
What if the Jacksons, remember when they did their victory tour back in 1985?
Yeah.
What if they had just done Trump speeches and Trump... I don't know how that would work.
If they just rambled, just like, it's great. Jackson 5 is going to be great again. Yeah. That was fun for a while. We don't do that anymore.
I know. You got me on my knees.
Oh, yeah, State of Shock.
Please, baby, please.
The greatest Jackson 5 song.
I actually love that song. That is
State
the
of
greatest.
Shock?
Yeah. I mean, it's the greatest Jackson song.
Is it the Jacksons or is it just Michael Jackson with...
It was the Jacksons with Mick Jagger. And the Jackson 5 had, of course, great songs like ABC and I Want You Back and all that. But then they changed their name to the Jacksons and they put out maybe 4 or 5 records or so.
Why did they change the name to the Jacksons? Was it to accommodate additional Jacksons or
I think someone had a bun in the oven that they were hoping for. And then I believe there was a miscarriage. And they were like, you know what? Oh. We're stuck with it already.
So it was going to be the original Jackson 5 and a baby.
Yeah, I love that movie.
A newborn infant. Yeah, that movie, the original Jackson 5 and a baby. And then remember, they thought the set was haunted, but it was a cutout of Tito.
Welcome to Comedy Bang Bang. And you are listening on a
very auspicious day for you.
You are... What an episode to be your first episode, if it is indeed your first episode, because this is the best of Comedy Bang Bang 2016, episode 1.
Trude at.
By the way, my name is Scott Aukerman. I'm the host of Comedy Bang Bang every single week, which wasn't always the case. There have been some substitute hosts over the years.
Been a long time since that happened.
Been a long time. Lonely time.
Since you've had a guest host.
Mm-hmm. Since we've had a guest host.
20 years ago. When did
I see Darth Vader over there. This is Rogue One.
Forrest Whitaker.
Welcome. Across from me, of course, joining me for the 25th year in a row.
That's right.
On the best ofs, the only episodes he ever does. He is right across from me, Mr. Paul F. Tompkins.
That's right. Reaching across the aisle in the spirit of bipartisanship.
Meaning we're two different people. Is that what bipartisanship means to you?
Yeah.
Okay, then every interaction would be bipartisan.
Good, it should be.
I wonder what year this is that we've done this together. It might be literally our 8th time doing it together.
It might be.
I don't really know. But,
how old is the show?
It will. It's our 8th anniversary, and this is our 8th best of, I believe. So
that's pretty cocky. That first year,
we had a 3.
Hey, we should do a best of.
Well, no, it was like it was like an 8-month period from May to December.
So not even a full year.
Not even a full year.
You were saying people got to vote on their favorite episodes.
But at the same time, we were, it was one of those things where we were taking a couple weeks off from the radio station. And so it was a banked episode. So we said, let's do a best of. Come on. I have to explain this to you, Mr. Showbiz.
It's for the benefit of the listener.
Being for the benefit
of the listener. What is that?
I started that and realized that song has no discernible melody. Being for the benefit of Mr. Kite. I don't even know.
For the benefit of Mr. Kite, there will be a show tonight on trampoline.
But they never say being. That's the problem.
No.
In the lyrics. They do on the title of the song.
Exactly.
If it's going to be in the title, put it in the lyrics. If it's going to be in the title, put it in the lyrics. That's a new one.
That's a new one.
Paul, 2016, people are calling it the Peter O'Toole special, my favorite year.
For the podcast.
Yeah, no. For life.
Oh boy.
But personally for you, how was your year?
Personally, it was a great year. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Did you get a little closer to your wife?
No, we stayed the same distance. That's why it was so great.
Emotionally.
Look, if we're going to be together forever.
It's got to be incremental.
Absolutely.
Otherwise.
Sometimes she'll ask me a question and I'll be like, let's save it.
Let's save it for 2025.
Better not tell you now. Reply hazy, try again. I'm a magic 8-ball. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the listener knows that. If you don't know what I look like. Yes, if you're listening,
Paul is a magic 8-ball.
I'm round and black. I have a little window in me.
So like Cedric the Entertainer in a way.
Cedric. Cedric Yarborough is the only Cedric.
He's the only Cedric. I'm so sorry, Cedric Yarborough. I apologize.
Cedric was on my podcast, Spontaneous Nation, where he revealed
he's the greatest.
He's a dream.
He frequently on the Comedy Bang Bang TV show had a recurring role as a sportscaster. They were so funny doing this sportscaster roles with Kyle Bornheimer. They were so funny together that I said I need them back. Just like any excuse
we have to invent a reason.
Any excuse we had, we would put them back into the scripts, and they would very nicely show up.
Cedric is so funny and so nice and so much fun to be around. But he revealed that he has.
You said he's very nice, so fun to be around, but
he killed my dad.
What? He did?
Now, it was vehicular manslaughter. Okay. It was not on purpose.
Oh, no.
It's like, I can't fault him for it.
It's manslaughter, though? I mean, manslaughter implies that it's on purpose.
Vehicular manslaughter.
Sure, yeah. No, whatever, vehicular, non-vehicular, manslaughter implies intent.
No, I don't think so. Manslaughter means you killed someone. It does not mean murder means you did it on purpose.
But you're at fault.
It's not manslaughter, she wrote.
That's a good spin-off.
She just investigated accidental deaths.
Oh, Jessica.
You didn't realize the glass had a sliver of broken
when you served it to them?
In it. Oh. I think there's been a manslaughter here.
And by the way, person slaughter.
Yeah,
you know
right.
What I mean?
2016.
Come on, 2016, almost 2017, and it's not person slaughter yet.
This is 2016, going on 2017. What were you gonna sing?
I don't even know. I was saying almost 2017, but you said going on, which makes more sense because of the original song says going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So for you personally, good year for the world.
It was tough.
It gets worse and worse, does it not?
Yeah,
just like every year worse.
Those videos that they show to kids.
Which videos?
It gets worse and worse.
It gets worse, kids.
Yeah, you have your experience of like, I thought things were bad, and then they got even worse.
Yep. But, we're not here to dwell on that necessarily, but
Let's celebrate the good stuff, because there were many good things. And I will say, for such a challenging year, I laughed a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
There was some sad things that happened, but I realized, I must admit, when I look back, I had a lot of fun this year as well.
As did I. Some terrible things happened to me personally. Someone on the internet said I wasn't funny.
What? Who?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, do you know that guy?
I think he said that about me too.
White Genocide 666? He's got a little frog. He looks like a frog. He's a green frog.
Wait, not Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe.
Pepe?
Wait, is his name Pepe?
Pepe the frog.
Pepe le frog?
Pepe is the frog.
Pepe le frog?
Do you think that
Maintenant.
What?
Maintenant.
Is that frog?
That's frog for... Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, you're speaking in the frog language.
I'm speaking frog French.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. What do American frogs sound like?
Ribbit.
Asked and answered.
Asked and answered. What were you going to say about...
Do you think that the alt-right, the neo-Nazis took that Pepe drawing and adopted it because it's such a shitty drawing that's easy to replicate?
I can't tell. No one seems to know. I've read article. If you don't know what we're talking about, there is a cartoon of a frog that was on Reddit and similar places that was not associated with white supremacy at all.
Nope.
And somehow they took it over.
Yeah.
And now when you see it, and it's too bad because the creator of it has no connection to that at all. It would be almost be as if like Walt Disney created Mickey Mouse and within like 3 months someone was like, hey, guess what? This is a Nazi symbol. And then Disneyland would never have happened. We're now in an alternate reality where Pepe the Frog Land will never happen because of this.
Never have Pepe rides.
I want a Pepe ride.
I want to eat Pepe pancakes.
PPPs?
Oh, Pepe!
Oh, Pepe!
Okay, lots.
But no one knows how it happened, though. It's very weird. I don't know, like what the first guy to do it was like, hey, check this out. This really says what we're all about.
But Pepe was a popular meme before it became adopted.
Popular meme that was sort of like about anti-establishment, maybe in a way of like, hey, like fuck you, maybe.
I'm as cool as this crudely drawn frog.
Yeah, or like there'd be a lot of pictures of him, like flipping someone off or something like that, and that's like, hey, Pepe. And I guess like the ultimate anti-establishment is the alt-right.
We don't like this establishment that allows different races to walk around freely.
Guys, we're getting political here. Normally we don't do it, but it's the world we live in, and what are we gonna ignore it?
It's inescapable this year.
But they say laughter is the best medicine. And that's what I was going to talk about. Some terrible things happened this year, and just not only personally, but in the world. But we did laugh a lot. We did laugh a lot. We laugh a lot. Sir, laugh a lot. We laughed a lot, and we put out a lot of product, a lot of tent. We slang a lot of tent.
We slung a lot of tent.
So much content. 20 episodes of Bang Bang. You put out 18 episodes of Bajillion, and
that's right.
You did so many live shows. We did so many live shows together as well, but you did your Largo live shows and a lot of tent out there, and hopefully that we've talked about it on the show before. You can't just like turn off wanting to laugh, right?
Can't you?
I don't know. Can you?
I mean, if you're on the game show Make Me Laugh,
that is a great time to be able to do it if you can, but a lot of people can't. Otherwise, they would have to give away cars every single contestant,
Do they give away cars on
I don't know.
I think that's
I want to say it was like $50.
Yeah. I think it was $1 a second you didn't laugh.
Right. Were you ever on it? Were you ever a person? Yeah,
yes,
I did like 3 episodes.
Yeah. It was mortifying.
I thought it was really fun because I had just started comedy and I did 3 episodes.
Sure.
And I felt I was in that like, I don't know my place in the world, and a lot of people I look up to do it, and it would be so cool if I got to do it. And we went and auditioned, and the producer came over And I was like, so what do you think? He's like, oh, yeah. I mean, you guys are great. And the rest of these people fucking suck. It was like, oh, geez.
Wow.
But that was like such a nice, I had just started comedy, and for a person to go, oh, you're so much better than everyone else, was like, oh, I got, and the first TV shows I believe I did were Make Me Laugh, 3 episodes of Make Me Laugh. The first time on camera, I believe.
You were on Days of Our Lives for 8 seasons.
Sure.
You don't count that?
No, I walked right from my final episode of Make Me Laugh into the Days of Our Lives studio by accident.
Oh, I see.
I was wearing an eye patch.
Sure.
And we all know that villains wear eye patches,
That's
of course.
right.
And they said, whoa, get over here for a second.
Snitches get stitches, villains wear eye patches.
And I was Paige for the next 8 seasons. Yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit of trivia about me.
Fun story.
Now, Paul, what we're going to do on this episode.
Break it down for me.
Is we are going to be counting down the top 15 regular Comedy Bang Bang episodes of the year, and you voted for them.
This is on you.
This is on you. We didn't. We have no horse in this race.
Yeah.
We have no skin in this game.
I don't care. Look, I don't care what people thought were their favorite episodes.
I don't care at all.
I don't care. I don't give a shit about what people think.
They're wrong.
What they do, what they say.
Wait a minute.
I don't care if they're alive.
Well, hold on. Are you like a nihilist?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care about Earth.
Oh, you don't care about Earth?
No.
Even.
Dirt, grass, forget it.
Yeah, that's
Plants,
what makes up the Earth. Dirt
trees,
and grass. Yeah, all of that.
Rocks.
No, you can stop.
I don't care.
We all know. Lava?
Minerals, lava,
Magma?
magma.
Schmagma. So if you're just listening to this one, we're going to get better and better each one. So make sure that you listen all the way to the 4th episode. According to you people. Oh, you can't say you people. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Hashtag it.
So keep listening to these, because if you like this one, it just gets better and better and better and better and better.
If you like the worst one, you'll be like, I'm dumb.
If you're dumb enough to like these shitty episodes.
If you're such a brainless moron that you listen to this last one and you're like, that's pretty good.
I enjoyed all that.
Bill.
Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding,
I
ding,
swallowed my fork again. I forget what food I was not.
358th time this year.
How did I even count that high? I'm dumb, get it?
If you're one of those mindless cretins, then continue listening, because you'll enjoy it.
Yes, exactly.
There's
hope for you.
There is hope. And speaking of hope, I hope to get to our first clip right now. What do you say?
Oh. I thought when you said
speaking of hope that I was going to talk about Barack Obama's campaign.
Yeah. And then segue into Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
A New Hope, of course. And Rogue One is out now. So Subtitle?
A Star Wars story.
Is it? Oh, okay. Normally the subtitle is the what we call them, as in, Empire Strikes Back and
Star Wars, Rogue One.
So why don't we then, since we call, Return of the Jedi, all that, why don't we call this a Star Wars story instead of Rogue One, like colloquially?
So okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because we say Star Wars. Did you see Star Wars?
Yeah.
People didn't say, did you see The Force Awakens?
Right.
You know what I mean? They said, did you see Star Wars?
Okay, well, that's different than what I was saying. I was saying people said, did you see Empire Strikes Back? Did you see Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Star Wars is the only one that we actually say instead of A New Hope. A New Hope is a terrible title for a film.
But I think we say it is terrible. Mm-hmm. And I think it's time we relitigated that.
Okay.
Bad idea. Poorly executed.
Calling it that?
Yeah.
Well, it was never supposed to be the title of the film. Here's the problem. They called it Star Wars.
That's right.
They just called it Star Wars. When it came out, it was just Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then in the crawl, they were like, oh, we got to have a title for this dumb chapter. It's not the title of the film, certainly. We would work harder on this. Yeah. So George Locust, right?
George Lopez was like, hey, let me get in on this.
Offensive?
What?
And not even good.
He's a
He's a person? Wait, is that the bare minimum? You were going to say he's a person? That's the bare minimum for an impression for you. Is that if it sounds like a person?
That's
okay, you succeeded on that front. It does sound like a person. Let me take umbrage with the dialect.
I was like, when I was doing it, I was like, wait, what does he sound like? I know that.
Has it been so long? That we've forgotten what George Lopez sounds like?
I was trying to think in my mind, like, what's a typical thing that he does in his act?
Mm-hmm. And you came up with, hey!
I tell you what, though, there's definitely video of George Lopez in some bit going,
that's the
hey!
Thing. Stereotypes are true. Anyway, I was going to say New Hope. Yeah, George Lopez just wrote down A New Hope. Like, who cares? First thought, best thought.
Well,
and now, because there were more than one Star Wars film, he has to now call it A New Hope.
But I remember even as a kid reading an interview, and it was something to do with when he and Spielberg were kids, and they would see these chapter plays or whatever.
Right.
And
jerk each other off.
They'd sit there.
Mr. Steven, come over here.
Yeah. They'd sit. Oh, you mimed something different than you said.
Well, no. Well, I had to make the noise with my mouth. I couldn't actually do it with my hand.
But then you were pointing your hand. What are you doing? Yeah. I'm glad the listener can't see this.
I'm the noise I'm making. Yes, it sounds like a blowjob, but it also sounds like someone put lotion in their hand.
That's not what I was thinking.
Oh, what were you thinking?
Never mind.
Wait, what? Wait, what
no, it doesn't matter.
Paul, tell me. Let's not have an argument about this. Just explain your feelings.
I thought you were eating a Wendy's Frosty.
Oh, you thought I was eating a Wendy's Frosty.
I thought you were eating a Wendy's Frosty. Yeah. You're like really scooping it in.
You've seen me eat before. Is that how I sound when I eat?
I never look. Now, you and I have eaten meals together.
Sure, and you're wearing a sleep mask.
I always put on a sleep mask.
But you're able to hear it.
And I can hear it.
So that's what I sound like.
That's what you sound like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
We always eat at Wendy's.
Well, every day.
You always order a Frosty.
I never eat regular proteins.
Scott and I have a standing luncheon date. Mm-hmm. We eat at Wendy's.
It's like Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks.
That's right.
Every single day we get together for lunch at Wendy's, put on our sleep masks, and eat ice cream.
Oh, you wear one too.
Of course, you've never been able to see, but I slip one on. No, because I have
my sleep mask. You wait until after I put mine on. What a gentleman.
I do. After you, I always say, and you don't know what that's referring to.
I don't.
Well, now you do. Jackass.
You got me.
Anyway, I was going to say that we call them Empire Strikes Back. You don't call it Star Wars.
But I think when the new one comes out, you refer to it as Star Wars.
Yes, I didn't call it. You're right. The Force Awakens.
It's when you're talking about them.
Which ones do we call Star Wars? We call New Hope Star Wars.
Yes.
We call 1 through 3 Star Wars.
Yeah, when they're in theaters.
When they're in theaters.
You refer to it as Star Wars.
Empire Strikes Back, I called Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, I called Return of the Jedi.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think I called them Star Wars then, too.
I call them because if you recall the font, it was like really big, The Empire Strikes Back, and then just to remind you, it had like Star up at the top and Wars down below.
I do remember that.
Just like, remember this is part of Star Wars, but everyone I knew called it The Empire Strikes Back. Are you going to see Empire Strikes Back?
This is part of Star Wars.
But those are the only two that we call by their actual subtitles.
Well, we have to agree to disagree. Because I think now,
I'm going to disagree to disagree.
To differentiate them now, of course we use those subtitles. Mm-hmm. But when they're in theaters, I'm going to say from back in the day to present.
This may be a Philly thing. This may be a generational thing, even though it was occurring at the same time.
I know. Look, I'm 2 years older than you.
Sure.
When I was a kid, we did things a little differently.
Oh, yeah, when I was a kid, at the exact same time.
Yeah,
slightly younger.
You got it so easy.
I believe I called it Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, but now you're right. We should call this one a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
We should just call it a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
Instead of, what is it called? Rogue One. I think everyone's going to call this one Rogue One, don't you think?
I think they are.
This is the first one in 25, 30 years that we're going to actually call by its actual name.
And it's outside of the typical continuity that we're familiar with. Mm-hmm. I think it's a prequel of sorts.
It's inside the continuity.
There's other continuity. But
it's outside the sphere of characters that we are normally accustomed to.
It's outside of what is considered normal, right, or just.
Right. Is it actually out yet, by the way? I'm going to check here. We got, it's out. So it's, from what I understand, it tanked at the box office this weekend because of the protests, of course. You've heard about the protests.
The Star Wars story protests?
There were Star Wars protests, which killed the film. The Trump people were protesting Star Wars.
Why were they doing that?
I don't even want to get into it. But they Hamilton and Star Wars, the two things they protested.
Hamilton. And Hamilton's
Hamilton's
done.
closed. They shuttered it.
Wrapped it all up. Too bad.
Oh, well. Paul, you don't know what these episodes are.
No.
These are all a surprise to you.
They're all a surprise to me.
And you are a part of some of them. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and I'm a quarter goldfish, so I don't remember a lot of things. And I'm constant.
You're a quarter goldfish in the brain and the penis.
Yep.
That's the quarter. So you don't have a penis, you just lay eggs.
Yeah. Love it.
You love
I'm doing it right now.
Stop laying eggs, by the way.
Will you fertilize these, please?
All right, let me come on. There you go.
Please, a little decorum.
Now, you don't know what these episodes are. You don't know what order the results are in. And so that's why I'm going to tell you some information about them right before we listen to them.
That's why. Okay.
So now what we do is we vote from Thanksgiving of the previous year to Thanksgiving. And that gives us time to compile the clips. Makes sense. Normally, we've talked about this on the show before. Normally, the older the episode, the more people have forgotten about it.
Exactly.
And the newer the episode, the more recent they are, and they usually vote for those over the older episodes.
It just makes sense. It's human nature.
Would it surprise you then, sir, to know that our 15th most popular episode of the year was from January 4th?
What?
That's right. The first episode of this calendar year, not the first episode in contention, but January 4th. That's right.
But what about the theory we just talked about?
I know. It's been blown out of the water by this one example, but perhaps more later on.
I don't know.
Paul, snap out of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to be slapping Paul several times throughout this show.
Yeah, that's another tradition we have.
Yep. Slap fight. One-sided slap fight.
Slap fight.
Okay, that means I get to slap you. Anytime you call it out.
Yeah.
One of these days, slap back.
We'll see.
Slap back.
Slap back.
I have a great credit card. It gets lots of slap back.
I don't know what that means. Like
neither do I. Maybe. All right, here we go. This is episode.
Lauren couldn't be here.
This is episode 393. It's from January 4th. First episode of the calendar year. Paul, do you know what the tradition is for Comedy Bang Bang? First episode of the calendar year.
You, Ben Schwartz, and Horatio Sanz.
That's right. Ben Schwartz, Horatio Sanz. We always get together. Maybe we will this next year in 2017. Who knows? Traditions are made to be broken, but
that's not true.
Oh, really? They were made
to
like
stay the
on?
same. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
That's the whole point.
I got. There's that tradition of marriage that I got into. I thought that was made to be broken as well.
No.
Oh, Kulop and I are getting divorced.
Why?
Yeah,
Scott.
Because it's a tradition.
This is how I find out?
Yes. How did you want to find out? Hold on.
Divorce is also a tradition.
That's true.
It's an institution.
That's right. About 50% of the time. Even more.
I don't know if that's true anymore.
Oh, really? Has it lowered?
I think it's lowered.
Because less people are actually getting married, probably.
I think more people are
young
dying.
Age.
They're dying in their teens.
Oh, boy. Okay. This is an episode called Peanuts Awareness. Or Peanut Awareness. I can't remember.
I think it was Peanut Awareness.
Peanut Awareness.
Peanut Awareness time.
Peanut.
Peanut.
You put the peanut in the drink.
You put the poison peanut.
What if in the trial, we're talking about a lot of hot button issues on this episode today.
All fun stuff.
Fuck it. Let's talk about what if in the trial it came out that it was like, it turns out Mr. Cosby has not been slipping drugs into drinks. He just puts one peanut into everyone's drink.
What if that comes out in the trial?
What if that comes out and everyone's like, has to apologize to him?
But so it comes out that this is actually what was happening.
Yeah.
Not that this is what his defense is claiming.
Yeah.
But
no, this is what actually happened. They prove it conclusively.
So all these women are like, I guess now that I think about it,
there was one
peanut
weird peanut in my drink, and I had consensual sex with him. I apologize, Mr. Cosby.
But now... Okay, so if the peanut is not drugged in any way.
It's not drugged.
It's just a peanut.
He's just got a weird thing about putting a peanut.
Puts a peanut in there because it makes it feel powerful.
Put the peanut in the drink.
I put a peanut in your drink. So
I'm not saying it's likely. I'm saying what if it happens?
It's highly unlikely.
but there's a chance. But you're saying there's a chance.
But before I can address the what if of it, I want to make sure I understand
Sure.
that these women They're having consensual sex with
Consensual sex.
that later in their minds they reframe as him having drugged them.
Well, they got caught up in the wanting to be famous, and so they accused him.
Sure. Oh, okay. So they know they're lying. It's not that...
Some of them know they're lying, and some of them are just we're all the heroes of our own stories.
Some of them did have a peanut slipped into their drink.
They all had peanuts slipped in their drink.
Well, but I mean, some of them have peanuts slipped in the drink, and that caused them to have consensual sex with Dr. William H.
No, it never caused them. They chose to.
No. Well, okay.
Or they were so impressed by it that they chose to.
I just meant something about the peanut being put into the drink.
Don't blame the peanut.
Made these...
Don't blame the peanut. I'm saying that they're
that old expression.
Two separate things.
You're going to hide behind that? Don't blame the peanut?
He put a peanut in the drink. That's totally separate from them having consensual sex.
Consensual.
So I may have said consensual.
So what happens is at the trial.
Yes. At the trial, every single
the defense says, Your Honor, all my client did.
The defense doesn't know about this. This is something they stumble into.
What?
They stumble into it because so many people are up there on the stand. They go, well, I found a peanut in my drink. And then the defense attorney goes, so many peanuts, and then whispers in Bill Cosby's ear, and he goes, oh, yeah, of course I put the peanut in the drink.
I like to put the peanut in the drink.
And they go, stop everything, or let the trial continue and let me speak. That's probably line. Yeah, that's probably more specific. Okay. Yeah, if they stopped everything, it would just be like, well, you're free to go, Mr.
Objection.
Cosby.
Okay. So
and then they call everyone back up to the stand in tandem. All of the victims, supposed victims.
In tandem.
They say, everyone come back up together.
Oh, okay.
Come back up together. Yeah, right. Big group style, family style, Olive Garden style.
Yeah.
Come back up here.
So tallest in back, shortest in front.
Sure. And they say, did you all find peanuts in your drinks?
And answer all at the same time.
3, 2, 1. Yes, Your Honor.
So it comes out. When they're on the stand individually.
Yes. They all mention having seen a peanut in their drink, offhandedly. Offhandedly. The defense lawyer puts 2 and 2 together, calls everyone back up, and then calls Mr. Cosby to the stand and says, isn't it true that you didn't put any drugs in the drinks, you just put a peanut in the drink? And Mr. Cosby says, Dr. Cosby, so sorry, says, I put the peanut in the drink.
I put the peanut in the drink.
Which then causes the judge to go, you're free to go, Mr. Cosby. And then he goes, sorry, Dr. Cosby.
Right. Okay.
Not likely. I'm not saying it's likely.
So you're saying, what if that happened?
What if that happened?
That would be weird.
It would be weird, wouldn't it? All right, we need to take a break. Comedy Bang Bang, we're back here. Paul F. Tompkins coughing up a storm.
I'm dead.
I put the pee. And the countdown's really moving. We've heard one episode.
It's really moving.
Haven't we?
It's really moving, haven't we?
It's really moving, haven't we?
Number 1 for...
All right, episode 14 now.
Number 14 with a bullet.
The previous episode was from very early in the year.
You said January, as I recall.
January, yes, January 4th. This episode is from November 7th.
What?
Just a mere month ago, right before the cutoff date.
But under the wire?
Just right under the wire. As a matter of fact, if I may check my notes, this is the latest... I'll just say it. This is the latest episode. I know that's going to give some people, they're going to realize the next 2 in the eligibility period are not in the countdown, but this is the latest episode.
Scott, shut up for a second. I don't know that you've always employed this system of tons and tons of printed out emails. Has this always been what you've done?
Someone just printed it out. Normally it's on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, normally I look at it on my phone, but it's a little bigger here in the emails.
And you know what? Our eyes are not what they used to be, are they, old chum?
No, sir, but you're going to hear lots of this over the next 4 episodes.
This is the proof.
Lots of paper rustling. No, this is the latest episode that was voted for.
Insane.
And this is an episode, this is number 456. This is an episode called The Historic Rap. Yes, that's right. This is Jason Mantzoukas and Paul F. Tompkins himself. That's right.
That's me.
First episode on the countdown, old boy.
I'm a little mad that it took 2 episodes in.
Okay.
I'm a little. I'll just say this right now to the listener.
You wanted to be in the very first one.
It's a mystery to me why I'm not in all of them. and I have no choice but to take it as a personal affront.
Well, you're not on the show every single week. That would be weird if you weren't in them.
We'll get into that later. But that's a separate beef.
Hey, good looking. I'll be back to pick you up later. And we'll talk about that
Jingle bells.
A little later.
Jingle bells. Yeah, it's a tradition.
Well, let's save it, though.
Yeah, well, let's save it and savor it.
So you're upset, though.
I'm furious that anyone votes for any episodes that I'm not on and that I'm not on the show every week.
Okay, you'd like to be on the show every week, really?
Oh, this sounds like a be careful what you wish for situation.
Exactly. It's a real monkey's paw.
You're a real monkey's paw. How dare you?
Hey, how dare you?
You're a real Zoltar machine.
I'm turning everyone into... I got confused. I thought I was turning people into little boys, but Zoltar would turn people into big boys. He does turn back
at the end.
He's essentially, Zoltar is stealing life from people. He's taking 20 years of life out of people. What does he do with those 20 years?
I don't know that we talked about this.
We have not.
On mic or if this was off stage.
Was it? Okay.
Maybe we had this conversation during the tour.
Okay.
I would love to see a sequel to Big that is just Elizabeth Perkins' character.
We may have talked about this.
And how she deals with that moment where she sees the little boy that she had sex with.
Yeah.
As a man.
And I think waits around another 20 years hoping that he comes back to her.
You don't think she's haunted by this weird situation?
Of like, I just had sex with an adult penis that is in reality a child penis?
A child's brain was in this man's body. He tricked me into having sex with him. And now I see he's just a little boy. And now I have to live with that.
I have to live with that.
Yeah.
And it's the best sex I've ever had. And that's...
I was in love with this child, man.
Yeah. and now I'm attracted to children.
Yeah. Well...
Maybe I'm presuming.
I didn't mean to suggest that.
That's what I'm presuming.
But she would be suspicious of every man.
Every single man.
From that point on.
Can I ask you a question? What did you do from age 10 to 30?
Yeah. Where'd you go to college? Talk to me about your other girlfriends.
You've had sex before, right?
How old were you when you started?
Not a 10-year-old virgin.
How old were you when you started shaving? When did you get your driver's license?
Good stuff. All right, speaking of good stuff, let's hear a little bit of, this is your episode 14, the historic rap, Paul, you play Cal Solomon.
Cal Solomon, founding member of the Sugar Hill.
Now, talk about the origins of this character. Did this start on Spontaneous Nation, your own podcast?
It did. It started as, in the early days of the podcast, I would, because I wanted the ads to be entertaining, as well as the rest of the show, I would often make up characters just for the ads, and they would sort of have little stories that would continue. And some of those were Al A. Peterson,
the Smooth Criminal. We heard him last week.
It started as an ad person, and Cal Solomon was one. And his story got pretty detailed over the course of these ads. And so when we were doing the tour and we were doing so many shows.
You had to think up characters to do. And Phil, we did 40, I believe we did 40 live shows this year. You maybe did 38 of those. Or maybe 39.
I think I only missed San Diego and... Yeah, I think I only missed San Diego.
I think you only missed San Diego because you did South by Southwest as well. Yeah. That's the one that that may be the only one that you missed.
I think so.
Is that true?
Over the course of that many shows, in order to keep it fresh and not just
certified fresh
for the audience, in order to get our fresh certification, which we had to do before every show. We had to go to the local podcast certification board and get the show certified fresh. It just seemed like rather than trying to invent countless stories for these same characters.
The same people that
we've already been doing.
Several tours, yes.
News
stories for new characters.
News stories for new characters.
Newsies.
And so I went and looked up on the Spontaneous Nation wiki that a young lady named, I don't know if this is her actual name. Her screen name is Marius Perkins. And she has kept a list.
Is she a character?
She might be.
Who does her?
I think that's a Mary Holland. She kept a list of the advertising characters and their stories. So It was a huge help.
Wow. Okay. So you would look these up as we were on tour and go, oh, yes, this was Cal Solomon.
Pizza Rap by Cal Solomon. Here we go. Have you ever gone over a friend's house to eat and you don't like the pizza they serve? Because the toppings aren't the ones you like. The pepperoni sliding off. And you just don't have the nerve to say, I don't like your pizza. Can I get out of here? I want to go listen to fun. I got a comedy pizza party that's happening around, and it's got to be number one. I'm rapping Cal. I like to have a good time. I like to eat pizza and make some friends. And bleep blop, bleepity blue, bleep blop, blip blap. Listen, I'm in between relationships. Would you like to have my phone number? I'd like to go and see the sunrise and know that I'm not alone. So that's no good. You walk out of the store and you say, I'm still leaving a 15% tip. You go to your friends and you say, I had a bad pizza experience. Blip, blop, blippity blip. Let's go downtown where the party is. We're going to eat authentic pizza because the water's different here. It's the way it's made. You don't eat it with a knife and fork. Once I saw a guy who was so repugnant. I didn't like the way he held his pizza. He looked like a effete, like a aristocrat, and he was too good for the little people. And he's eating pizza. He's just eating pizza like it's, I don't know. I didn't like the way he was doing it. There was something about he was blotting it with a napkin, and
Number 1 for
Oh, so good. So right.
As we found out, and it comes up in this episode, Cal Solomon is maybe the only character who's not antagonistic towards you.
Yeah, the one. And on the tour, that got to be a big grueling, having a fake argument every night. I really loved when Cal Solomon would be on, as I would finally have a little respect.
Cal was very happy to be there. Mm-hmm. Cal is a guy who is very self-aware. He's got his dreams, but he's, he is very aware of his limitations. Sure. He hopes to get past them.
Sure.
But the outlook is not so good.
Doesn't watch anything with rap in it. Only The Wedding Singer.
Here's a little behind the scenes.
Yeah. Because we just heard that clip.
That was a completely happy accident.
Happy Gilmore.
That I knew there was.
Happy Madison, I should say.
They'll see.
But they should call happy accidents Happy Madisons.
You want to get mad that the characters have an antagonistic relationship with you, but then you do things like that.
Hey.
But when the idea of when Cal was challenged on, being aware of rap and seeing,
because you just threw it out there at one point that you had never, anytime you hear rap, you turned it off or something like that, right? Or you just had never seen anything with a rap in it?
I had never seen anything with a rap in it.
Right.
And
we started listing things that had rap in them. Is that what it was? We just heard it.
Yeah. But I pulled The Wedding Singer because I remembered from the trailer that there was a Rappin' Granny in it.
Yeah, you only liked Rappin' Granny.
Yeah. What I did not know
was that she raps
The Rapper's Delight, which is, we can surmise, this is the only rap song Cal has ever heard.
Yes, you're working on levels that just are subconscious at this moment.
Yeah,
so you don't even know.
Exactly. So I'm a genius is my point.
Speaking of geniuses, let's listen to some geniuses do some ads here. We need to take a break. When I say geniuses, I mean myself.
That's right.
Comedy Bang Bang, we are back here. Paul F. Tompkins clearing his throat after every break.
You won't give me a chance to do it before we come back. Just let me know.
I say, all right, here we go. Is that not clear enough?
Well, I don't know that you're talking to me.
All right, okay.
Well, you and Cody might have some sort of deal.
All right, let's get to it. Here we go. This is episode 13.
Ooh, scary.
Boo! If this were a hotel, I wouldn't stay on this floor.
Hell no. I wouldn't sit in the seat on an airline flight.
Number 1, 3.
This is an episode. This is another recent one, and this is more of our theory about they vote for the recent episodes.
This is blowing your theory out of the water.
But this is proving the original theory. Yeah. This is from October 24th.
That's 2 months ago
of this year, just 2 weeks previous to our previous episode on the countdown.
This is weird.
This is an episode called Pow Pow Power Wheels. Yes, this is Weird Al Yankovic, my co-host and band leader on the Comedy Bang Bang TV show.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Not to Weird Al. He's still alive and kicking, as the Simple Minds once said.
Well, let me get a rest in peace in advance for him then.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. Why can't we get our rest in pieces before we are already traveling to wherever we're going to travel to?
Yeah.
You know, we should walk around saying that to people instead of hello and goodbye.
What if I never see you again?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. What is this when people are saying now, I've noticed in the last year, rest in power?
What?
Yeah.
Rest in power?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it sounds like work.
Terrible.
It sounds like the opposite of rest in peace.
Ugh.
Rest in power.
Rest in power. That's
I don't know.
Terrible.
Guys, rest in peace is fine. You don't need to, tinker with it. It's great.
Rest in power.
Doesn't need any punch up from you.
And by the way, just to fit R.I.P., I
guess.
That's really strange. Like you're going to what? Like go fight God?
Well, but also you're resting.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You don't want to be powerful. It's just like go to sleep. Why do you
go to sleep?
That's like one of those people who's like, I'm such a muscle man that I want to flex while I'm actually sleeping. One of those people. You know those people.
One of them? Yes, of course I do.
Number 1, 3.
You got it?
I got it.
Paul just cleared his throat.
How dare you?
I let him clear his throat.
And then Sky went, you got it.
Funny shit.
Funny shit.
Funny shit.
My personal relationship with this episode is I was listening to it as I was driving to the set of Bajillion Dollar Properties in Malibu.
Mm-hmm. The Boo.
And the Boo. Channel 101 fans represent. And it was a day that the production did not seem to be aware, nor was I, that President Obama was visiting Los Angeles. And so it was like Sunset Boulevard was completely closed off from end to end. It's a pretty long street.
That's from end to end.
And so I am driving around trying to find a way in to where I have to go.
Right.
And I'm getting very frustrated listening to this episode, which was the only thing keeping me from going on a murderous rampage.
That we hear that a lot, that it's the only thing that keeps people sane during their rides to work and sometimes during work.
It's really true, though. I was in such a frustrating situation because I'm trying to communicate with the production staff, and I ended up being an hour late, which was mortifying.
One calendar hour.
One of your Earth hours. And
wait a minute. Hold on a second.
An hour.
What did you just say?
An hour, like we both say.
Can I ask you a question?
Can I see you in the kitchen?
Can I see you in the kitchen for a second? First off, are you a 10-year-old boy?
Well, what are you talking about?
When was the first time you started shaving?
It's shaved this morning.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Covered. Second question. Are you an alien?
Yes.
Oh. Whoa.
Yo, I mean.
You have to tell me legally.
Undocumented.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Build that wall.
Lock her up. All right. So
anyway.
Yes.
Very frustrating situation.
Made a little bit better.
It made it a lot better. It made it so much. It kept me from just melting down.
And did that hour being late, did that affect the production at all?
It sure didn't, Scott.
No one
I don't think I had to tell anyone. I could have shown up
whenever you wanted.
Zero problem.
Number 1, 2.
All right. Well, zigzamming, which is a cross between zigzagging and examining. What am I trying to say?
What?
I said zigzamming.
Was that cartoon about the little alien?
Zigzam? I don't know. What little alien are you talking about? The Martian?
Invader Zim.
Oh, Invader Zim, yes.
Yeah.
Which Danielle Koenig wrote for. And by the way, wrote an issue of the Invader Zim comic book in stores now.
Well, there you go.
That's right.
Little plug for the hilarious Danielle Koenig.
This is an episode zigzagging from later in the year. This is now back towards the beginning of the year. This is February 8th, and this is episode 400.
Right? Oh, that's like a milestone
That's a
episode.
milestone episode.
That's a milestone episode.
And on the hundreds, we've been having two people. That's right, Jason Mantzoukas, the aforementioned Jason Mantzoukas, and Andy Daly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Andy Daly doing his character Hot Dog. Hot Dog is an older gentleman who he likes to water ski.
Mm-hmm.
And he water skis on sausages, very long sausages instead of skis.
That's right.
And we find out that in this episode, he hates surfers and there is some sort of war going on.
Yeah. Hot Dog also, worth mentioning.
Yeah. Oh, very worth mentioning because it'll come up.
Huge fan of the musical group Sha Na Na.
Sha Na Na.
And has been auditioning to be a member of Sha Na Na for most of his life.
He's one of those people who can't just be a fan of something. He wants to be a part of it.
Exactly.
You
Don't get me started on fan theories and how much I despise them.
But do you think there are fan theories about this show?
I do. I think there's fan theories about everything.
Yeah, there probably are. About like what Hot Dog's up to or what's going to be next with
the Bible.
Mm-hmm, the Bible. What a fan I am of the Bible as well.
Big fan.
Big fan.
2 Corinthians.
You know those comic conventions for the Bible they have every Sunday?
Yep.
Sometimes people come in costume.
That's right. That's how popular the Bible is. There's cons every week.
Yeah, not just during the summer. Not once a year.
All over the country.
It's incredible.
Jason and Andy, I think, have known each other for a long time. From back in New York, right?
Yeah, I would say so. They both UCB New York people.
And Jason is a mischievous character.
He's a devil. He's a little devil.
He's a little devil. He's a little stinker. Mm-hmm. But I think he takes a particular delight in putting
obstacles
trying to paint Andy Daly
path.
into a corner. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Because Andy is one of those people who can get out of those corners expertly.
Yes.
Have you ever trap an animal in a corner? And
I love it.
It's so fun because they can
so
usually
much
get
fun.
out. But you know those times where the animal is trapped and knows it's going to die? That's not as fun.
No, it's not fun because you see the look on their face where they just say, I have to accept my fate. Yeah.
Mama, I'm coming home.
I'm no longer in control of my stupid instincts. I submit.
Yeah.
Do what thou wilt, sir.
You know how, and then of course you kill the animal.
I crush its skull.
Yes, of course. These are flies we're talking about, by the way.
Flies and raccoons, but I'll do it with a handle of a tennis racket.
Sure, yeah.
Just
Either one,
skull.
flies and raccoons.
Yep.
Good for both.
All the same to me.
That's the Spalding promise. Good for both. Great episodes.
Great episode.
And we have to wrap it up here for this particular episode of the Best Ofs.
It's sad.
It is sad. But
Every ending is sad.
What's not sad is the fact that we have another episode coming out this Thursday. So just wait a few mere days and we will be back to count down episode 11, 10, 9, and 8 in the countdown. And that's even more exciting because they get better and better.
Oh, I guess they do, right?
Mm-hmm. They do.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks
does
out.
make it. Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah. I think I get this now. I don't think I got it until
just right now. This is the 8th year that you've been doing this.
Nobody's more embarrassed than I am.
I'm embarrassed for you. So
I thought, why are we listening to these out of order?
they're in a very specific numerical order.
Scott, I get that now.
Okay.
Jesus. I admit it, I'm wrong. What more do you want from me?
I want you to apologize.
I am sorry to you.
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
The listener. You didn't let me finish.
Oh, fuck you. Let me finish.
I'm going to let you finish.
So many let me finish memes in the world. There's the Ross Perot. There's the Kanye.
The Ross Perot.
Can't finish. All right. We're going to wrap it up here. We'll see you on Thursday, and there may be a special surprise on Thursday's episode. Don't want to say what it is, but we
Cupcakes?
will... Nope. I did bring some brownies. We pigged out on them right before this.
We did have a pig out session.
Yep. All right. Let's wrap it up there for now, but we'll see you on Thursday. All right. Thanks. Bye.